Hi, my name is Jayoza. I help people become good to great speaker so that they can speak confidently and with impact, whether it's one on one, in a small group, or in front of a large audience. One of the things I teach them is when you want to speak with impact, you want to be teaching your audience. I tell them that speaking is teaching. If you're not teaching, then you have to ask yourself, what are you speaking about? What is your purpose for being on the stage? So the question that you're probably thinking about is, well, I'm teaching, I teach people topics, but I think it's a little bit more involved than just taking some topic and teaching. You have to know whether your teaching is resonating. And one of the ways you can hone this skill is something that I occasionally do. I pick a topic or something that I'm passionate about. I think we're all passionate about this music. I like certain music. You like certain music. The people you talk to or deal with, they like music, but it may be different. The question is, how do you teach them to appreciate the music that you like? I think this is something that can really tell you how good a teacher you are. Can you get somebody, whether it's your children, whether it's somebody, friends, colleagues, or even strangers, and get them to appreciate the music that you like, that they either don't know anything about or never heard about it or probably don't even like because nobody's ever taught them how to appreciate it. So, how do you do that? I like all kinds of music, but I prefer classical music. And classical, people always think of it as, it's something old, I'll never understand it, and all that. And I think that's total nonsense. Classical is not necessarily old, it's old for a reason, because it's so good. That's why it's still around. And people just don't appreciate this music. So the thing that I do is I take a composition, let's say like the Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and I try to show them, let me show you how to appreciate this music. And I said there is a lot of similarities between the Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and how your speech should be constructed or crafted. So let's go through it. The opening of that symphony, we all know it. We can all hum it. Da 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 da, da 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 da. That's the start. There is no introduction here. He just goes right into it. Da 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 da, da 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 da. That's how the speech should start. Don't beat around the bush. Just go right at it. Here's my main idea. I'm going to give it to you right up front. And Beethoven does that. Then he takes that motive and he develops it. He does all kinds of things to it. He either leads with it, he accompanies it. There's all kinds of things. But that motif recurs throughout that first movement. In fact, that motive occurs in all the movements except the second movement. And that could be your soundbite. Like my soundbite I always use is that you are how you speak. Now if this is my da 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 da, then I have to take that and work with it. So if I say whether you're speaking one on one, you are how you speak should be there. When I say, well, then if you're speaking to a small group, you are how you speak in a meeting. If you're speaking to a large audience, you are how you speak. They're going to judge you by the way you communicate. So that is how I'm explaining by connecting speaking or communicating content to music, how Beethoven communicates with his music. There is no real difference. At the end, when you're speaking, you are an artist. An artist creates. we appreciate, unlike engineers who build and we utilize. So keep that in mind, that when you're speaking, think of yourself as an artist, and people will appreciate, but you got to give them something to appreciate. So I would use the Beethoven's Fifth Symphony without using any musical jargon or any of that, like E minor, G major. I have no idea what that means. I don't even understand it. I don't read music. I don't even play any instruments. But I appreciate music. To get somebody to appreciate, you should speak at the level they're at. They don't know anything about music. And I think it's doable. You can say, listen, the way Beethoven communicates through music, you can take that same music, the same construct, the way he introduces this theme and that theme, and how he conveys his message and the feeling that he creates, and he summarizes everything at the end, and the ending of it, which is known as a coda. That all is transferable to your speech when you're communicating that content to somebody. So that's how I would explain the Beethoven's Fifth. Now, I'm not sure if I did a good job or not, but you get the idea that you should be able to get somebody really excited, saying, hey, listen, do you want to persuade somebody? Take a look at Beethoven's Fifth. That is the model. This is how you should craft your speech, the way Beethoven crafted this first movement. In fact, the entire piece, but let's just focus on the first movement. And if you do that, then you will have the same kind of effect with your content and the way the audience is going to appreciate. So now the person suddenly says, hey, I never really thought that Beethoven's music can help me become a great speaker. Hey, this is classical music. It's been around for a long time. And it's not just teaching you how to appreciate music, it's also teaching all of us on how to communicate. So think about that. Similarly, ask them, what is the music that you appreciate? Because that music is communicating something to you. Maybe I can learn something from that music. It'll help me communicate better. So, to close this out, you have to become a good teacher when you are speaking. And one of the ways you can hone this skill is to pick the music that you really like and appreciate, and then see if you can get somebody else who doesn't know anything about that music and help that person appreciate it the way you can. As I showed, I would show them the way to appreciate it is to think of Beethoven's music as a way of communicating. And when you are working on your speech, since that's my expertise, that I try to see whether I can use some of the techniques that he uses in his music in my speech. So that's the technique that I would use. You can use any technique you would like. But this is a good way to practice, because speaking is teaching, and you have to learn this skill. And one of the best way to develop this skill is to pick something like music that you're passionate about and get other people to appreciate it the way you do. And if you do that, I think you're going to become a good to great speaker. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.